So welcome back again, students, to another video lesson. So after we've discussed distance formula, so the distance between 2 points. So for this video lesson, we'll talk about midpoint formula. So kung anong midpoint formula na yan, so pag-aaralan po natin. So let's start. So for our lesson objective, use the midpoint formula to determine the coordinates of the midpoint between two endpoints. So i-discuss ko po anong midpoint na yan, tsaka yung endpoint. So let us have midpoint formula. So the endpoints of a segment are L, whose coordinates are x sub 1, y sub 1, and N, whose coordinates are x sub 2, y sub 2. So to find the coordinates of the midpoint M, use the formula M is equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, and then y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Yan po yung coordinates ng M, yung midpoint. Okay, so yung midpoint, ito po yung nasa gitna. Okay, so ang hinahanap po natin dito yung coordinates ng midpoint. So meron po kasi tayong dalawang endpoint. So yung endpoint po natin, so end, nasa dulo po sila. Okay, so ayan po, L and M. So para makuha po natin yung coordinates ng midpoint M, ito pong formula na to ang ating gagamitin. So, i-add natin yung dalawang coordinates ng x, divide natin sa 2, yun yung magiging coordinate ng x ng midpoint. And then, para makuha yung y coordinate ng midpoint, i-add natin yung dalawang y coordinates, and then, i-divide natin sa 2. So, ito po yung kanyang illustration. So, yung L, ito po siya. Yung coordinates niya, x sub 1, y sub 1. And then, yung N naman, yung coordinates niya, x sub 2, y sub 2. Ayan. And then, magdodraw tayo ng line para i-connect yung dalawang points na yan. So, L and N, yan po yung mga endpoints ng given segment. And then, yung midpoint M, of course, yung nasa gitna. So, yung pinaka-middle point po. Okay. So, ibig sabihin po niyan, ang distance po ng LM, kailangan equal po dun sa distance ng MN. Okay, so ito po yun. So the distance between L to M and then M to N must be equal. So para po tama po yung ating midpoint. So let us have an example. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of the segment whose endpoints are J, 3, 8, and N, 7, 12. So yung midpoint formula po natin, ito siya. And then, ililabel natin yung mga coordinates ng J and N para makita nyo po yung x sub 1 and y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So, una muna is yung x coordinate ng midpoint. So, that is x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2. So, x sub 1 is 3. And then, x sub 2 is 7. Divided by 2. Next, 3 plus 7 is 10. Over 2. So, m sub x is equal to 5. So, ito po yung x coordinate po ng ating midpoint. Next, yung sa y naman, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So, y sub 1 is 8. And then y sub 2 is 12 over 2. So, 8 plus 12 is 20 over 2. So, m sub y is equal to 10. So, ito naman po yung ating y coordinate. And then, yung answer natin, yung coordinates ng midpoint ng ating segment, M, 5, 10. So, ayan po. 5, 10. Next example, find the coordinates of the midpoint of the segment whose endpoints are F, negative 6, 2, and G, 5, negative 11. Okay. So, same process din po kanina. So, yung coordinates ng midpoint ang hinahanap natin. So, M is equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. And then, una muna yung coordinates ng x. Yung x coordinate muna ng midpoint. So, i-label natin x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay. Next. So, x sub 1 is negative 6 plus x sub 2, 5 over 2. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1 over 2. So, yung x-coordinate ng midpoint is negative 1/2. Next, yung sa ano naman, y. So, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So, y sub 1 is 2 plus y sub 2 negative 11 all over 2. 2 plus negative 11 is negative 9 because we follow the sign of the bigger value. And then proceed to subtraction. So, ayan po yung y-coordinate ng ating midpoint. So, our answer will be the midpoint, the coordinates of the midpoint of the segment negative 1/2 and negative 9 over 2. So, ganyan lang po kadali ang pagkuha ng midpoint, ng coordinates ng midpoint. Next, the coordinates of the midpoint of the segment whose endpoints v, hk, and w, negative 1, 6, is y, 3.5, 6.5. Find the coordinates of v. So, sulat natin, m is equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2, and then yung midpoint natin dito, yung y. So, sulat natin y of x equals x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2. And then y sub x is 3.5. Yun yung x coordinate ng midpoint. Equals x sub 1 natin. So, label muna natin sila. So, x sub 1 is h plus x sub 2 negative 1 all over 2. And then cross multiply 3.5 times 2 is 7 equals h minus 1. And then i-transfer natin yung negative 1 sa left side. So, magiging 7 plus 1 equals h. So, h is equal to 8. Next, dun tayo sa y. So, yung y-coordinate ng y na midpoint is 6.5 equals yung y sub 1 k plus yung y sub 2, 6 all over 2. And then 6.5 times 2 is 13 equals k plus 6. And then transfer natin or transpose natin yung 6 sa left side. So, magiging 13 minus 6 is equal to k. K is equal to 13 minus 6, 7. So, yung coordinate, y-coordinate ng v is 7. So, ibig sabihin po, yung coordinates po ng v na hk, ang value po nila 8, 7. So, to check, okay, so dun i-add muna natin yung x-coordinate ng v tsaka w. So, yung h natin is 8. And then, yung x sub 2 natin is negative 1. Divided by 2. So, 8 plus negative 1 is positive 7 over 2. So, 7 over 2 is 3.5. Ayan. Next. So, tama po yung 3.5. So, 6.5 naman ang kukunin natin. So, yung y-coordinate ng v na k is 7 plus yung y-coordinate ng w, 6. So, 7 plus 6 is 13 divided by 2, that is 6.5. So, tama nga na yung h and k is 8, 7. So, ito po yung ating sagot. V is equal to 8, 7. So, for the next video lesson, we will be talking about the equation of a circle. Okay, so, yung polynomial, meron siyang equation, di ba? So, same with circle. Okay, so meron din po siyang equation. So, kung paano kunin ang equation ng circle, so tunghayan nyo po sa susunod na video lesson. So, that's all. Thank you.